What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Awakening. So last episode, we did clear off the Wending Woods. We came back here and gave Valena her join in. We got her recruited into the Wardens. We turned in the final stone granite for the walls of Vigil's Keep. Let's see what Baldric has to say about that.
I pity the siege crew that tries to breach our walls.
Indeed. We did get the last of the merchants here, so all of our merchant coin issues are squared away. We did put down a peasant revolt peacefully. We did have to threaten the rabble to move on, but we didn't kill anybody. It's a good thing. I wasn't just going to throw them in the dungeons like all Hal would have done. It was certainly not him. Now, we did also get a message from Mistress Wolsey that there was a caravan headed for Vigil's Keep that actually got shipwrecked. And she said that it was all lost to the bandits, no doubt. But we're actually going to go pick some of that up. So, Anselm's Reef. Many a sailor has met his doom where the waters of the waking sea meet the Amaranthine Ocean. Anselm's Reef marks perhaps the most dangerous stretch of the coast. We will go ahead and do this, and then we're going to go ahead to Amaranthine and pick up the Kristoff quest. His trail led to the Crown and the Lion, so we'll go loot all that. We'll likely switch out. There's a blood mage back there. Well, that's just not going to happen, whatever you're planning on doing. You won't be alive long enough to cast whatever bullshit spell that is, so good night. You stop that. Now, all roads do seem to lead back to the Crown and Lion. We will switch out our party and take Nathaniel there, see if we can't run into Delilah Howe while we're there. We are overdue doing his personal quest. Like I said, most of them are bugged. We're not going to be able to do Sig runes because we went to Amaranthine before we picked her up. The death of him, so that's the coast cleared out.
On it.
We already did Valena's. We actually somehow managed to just run into Valena and her Dalish clan as soon as we left the Wending Woods. We actually got quite fortunate with her personal quest because we ran into them before we even started it. So, however that happened, I'm not sure. Just luck, I suppose. We were due some, I think. But the only main area we have left is actually the Black Marsh, which is a very interesting place. That's where we're going to pick up our final companion. A pretty cool storyline that goes on there too, so I'll be paying plenty of attention there. Might even pick up some interesting codexes. Now, they have a lot of these salvage trade goods. It seemed like our quest immediately completed when we picked up the first one. What is the point of these? Various items only slightly damaged. Now, since the quest was completed, I assume there's no way to take them back. In the meantime, we did get an Anders level, so we're going to give you 48 willpower. I guess since you have blood magic, and your magic is already all the way up at 60, we'll just go ahead and give you 2 more HP in case we ever do decide to use your blood mage spells. We'll give you blood wound, that is the most overpowered of them all. It's not like you have anything else in here that we need at this point, so alrighty, here we are in Amaranthine. We did drop Anders out of the party for Nathaniel. I like Valena much more than I like Anders, so he's gonna sit this one out. We'll probably pick him up before we do the next part of the main stuff, but I don't mind getting rid of Anders whenever I can. Now, I'm not seeing Delilah anywhere. She's typically in this part. Here she is.
Delilah? Is that really you?
Nathaniel, I had feared the worst.
Times must have been hard, Delilah. But you can do better than this. Come back to the estate until we find somewhere else.
What? Oh, Nathaniel, I didn't marry Albert out of desperation. I adore him. He's so much better than that stuck-up Cousland boy that Father kept trying to set me up with.
That would be us. Oh, alas, we don't really need to jump into this. It's not any of our business.
I was so glad to get away from Father's evil. This life is so much better.
Father's evil? Isn't that overstating things a little? He got caught up in politics.
You weren't here. You didn't see what he did, Nathaniel. You want the culprit who destroyed our family? It was him, without question.
I had no idea.
Of course you did. But you always worshipped Father, right from when you were a little boy. Come, brother, let us sit and catch up a bit, shall we?
Now she has her head on very straight.
She said she wants me to come back once all this is done. Meet her husband. She's due by the spring. She seems happy. She said father deserved to die. I still can't believe it.
He murdered my family to get what he wanted.
I thought he had his reasons. It was a war for Andraste's sake. Before I went to the Free Marches, he was never... How could he have changed so much?
It's not your fault, Nathaniel.
What if I'd never left? I didn't have much choice, but still. I wish I'd known some of this sooner. I feel like such a fool. Now please, let's get back to our business. I need to think.
He doesn't need to take what his father did on his own shoulders. It's not his fault. It's his father's fault. Nothing that Howard did is on Nathaniel. And his sister is living a wonderful life. She didn't care about the money. She married into a hard-working regular man who's taking care of her. That's very good. And she's away from all the politics and bureaucracy. He seems happy. Hopefully one day we can make all of Ferelden capable of such happiness. Maybe Nathaniel will find himself a girlfriend someday too. But in the meantime, we are going to dip him out. We'll send him back to the Vigil and pull Anders. While we're here, we may as well do Anders' personal quest. The only other one we're capable of doing while we're here, so... We will go ahead and talk to Nemaya. She's the shady-looking rogue that we've walked by a billion times at this point. Let's see what Anders wanted with her.
Oi, about time you showed up.
Nemea, you're still here.
I keep my promises. Here, turns out you were right. The cache is here in Amaranthine.
It is? You found it?
I did. What you do with that information is up to you. I, for one, am done dealing with mages.
I guess I should thank you.
Damned right you should. You get caught, Anders, I'm not helping you again. That's all I'm saying.
Smart girl to cut ties.
I suppose that requires some explanation.
A smidge. Friend of yours, I take it.
She's normally more welcoming than that. A lot more. Nemea is a friend. Last time I escaped from the tower, I asked her to look into some things. That's why I was in Amaranthine. The Templars thought I'd come to take a ship, but it was to meet her.
To find a cache.
During the Blight, the Templars moved their store of phylacteries to Amaranthine for safety. My phylactery is among them, Nemea learned. So long as the Templars have that sample of my blood, they can find me. I need to destroy it.
Now, ordinarily I wouldn't help him. But you see here, the first option is, but you're a Grey Warden. I'm not prepared to let the Wardens interfere with I'm not prepared to let the Templars interfere with Grey Warden business. That is a bad precedent to set. We do take everybody, we do hold the right of conscription, and it was the King's order that he would join us. And that one Templar that was chasing him, the main lady, she was willing to go to war with the commander of the Grey over that. She refused us. She only bent the knee when the king ordered it, and she still even then seemed very reluctant. So, since we have a new Darkspawn threat, this architect and this mother, they both seem very bad. There's a lot going on here. We only have so many Wardens in Ferelden, and all of us are in this party, so we can't afford to be losing recruits to Templar hunters. For that reason alone, I am willing to help him, but in ordinary circumstances, I would not be doing this. He's very lucky we're in the situation that we're in. But you're a Grey Warden now.
What's to stop the Chantry from deciding mages and the Grey Wardens are apostates too? I want to be sure they can't ever find me again. Ever.
If that's what you want.
It is. It really is. I know we're busy killing Darkspawn and all, but the sooner we find this vial, the better I'll feel. Shall we get a move on?
Again, he's very lucky of present situation, because ordinarily I would not give a singular shit about what he wants or thinks. But here we are in the situation we're in, so... Anders has learned that his phylactery, a vial of his blood that allows the Templars to track him down, is currently stored in a warehouse in the city of Amaranthine. You agreed to help him recover it.
I think that's where the phylacteries are. It's probably guarded.
Here we are at the warehouse. Hopefully we can just dip in here and grab it real quick and then call it a day.
Maybe they don't want to draw attention to the cache. Could we be that lucky?
In my experience of hundreds of hours fighting the Blight and everything else we've dealt with in Ferelden and Anders, there's no such thing as luck. Denerim dust. Lawkeeper's boots. Blood promise. Improves blood magic. That's interesting. Blood mage armor set in here. Aqua magus. That's going to be for Ogren. Thirsty companion.
And here I almost believed the infamous Anders wouldn't take the bait.
Ah, yes. I suppose I should have known it would be you.
You made a poor choice with this one, Commander. Anders will never submit, not to us and not to you.
He's done okay with us so far. He hasn't tried to backstab us or snake us out, and we did perform the rite of conscription by the King's order. He's made a fine Grey Warden so far.
So far, yes. I'll make sure that this murderer is never a bother to anyone again.
What? No, you can't arrest me! King Alistair allowed my conscription.
The Chantry's authority supersedes the crown in this matter. You cannot hide within the Grey Warden's ranks.
Actually, yes he can. The rite of conscription is absolutely final. It supersedes everything. It supersedes the King's orders, the Chantry's orders, and everything. The Grey Warden rite of conscription is actually the peak order in the entirety of Thedas, and he will not be joining you. And it's treason to speak ill of the King like that, so none of this is going to be happening on various degrees. No, he stays with those.
Hardly surprising. The Grey Wardens have ever been a haven for criminals and Maleficar. I do not know how you inspire such loyalty, Anders, but it will avail you naught. Now you come with us.
And you see her opinion of the Wardens already shining through. She thinks Wardens are all scum. Again, none of this is going to go the way that she wants it to. Valena, you hit Mind Blast. Anders, you can just stay right there, honestly, and hit a mass paralysis. I mean, Ogren's going to taunt for us, and none of this is going to matter, ultimately. Knock everybody on their ass, please. Hit her with Mark of Death. Valena, if you want to run over here. Thank you. Now you're going to hit mass paralysis.
Only one shall stand!
That Templar done. And Rylock's almost gone too.
I wonder if Nemea knew about this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Thank you. You stood by me, and I appreciate that.
It's more like I was standing by the Wardens, but I need every Grey Warden.
I suppose there are worse things than being needed. Anyhow, let's go before someone else rushes in to waggle a finger at us.
Yeah, I wasn't so much standing by Anders as I was standing by the Grey Wardens. It's a very bad precedent if Templars can just roll up and start taking mages from the Wardens' ranks, because they are needed, they are necessary. It's not something that I'm prepared to let slide. Now imagine if, at some point in history after that, the commander of the Grey Wardens is a mage. Somebody decides they don't like them, they send Templars, the Templars roll in and take that Warden commander to the circle or whatever the hell they want to do. None of that is going to happen. We're not setting that precedent. And not only that, but she was committing treason. She was going against the King's orders. That also won't be happening. And now she's dead, unfortunately. She didn't need to die. I would have liked to have not had to do that, but she forced our hands, not us. That wasn't us. She was the one interfering in Grey Warden business. She was the one trying to take Anders directly from the ranks, and she would have killed the commander of the Grey in order to get him. She was absolutely a zealot. A treasonous zealot. Imagine the doom she would have put Ferelden in if she had slaughtered the Warden commander and the rest of the Grey Wardens with him. Also, she could take Anders back to the Chantry to face execution or tranquility or just to put him back in class. Like, whatever she was planning to do with Anders. I believe she said she was going to hang him. And she was willing to kill us all for that, which would have put the entirety of the Grey Warden order in Ferelden back at square one, with the Hero of Ferelden dying in the process. No, she's going to die. She's a zealot, and honestly, she can't be trusted. treasonous zealot little paladin. Now, we have been inside this bar plenty of times, but we did never investigate Kristoff's room, so while we're here in Amaranthine, we may as well go ahead and hop to it. The only companion quest we have left now is Ogren's family man.
Something I can do for you, friend?
Did a Grey Warden named Kristoff come through here?
And who are you supposed to be that's asking?
I would be his commander.
Oh, welcome, my lord. Haven't seen that fellow Kristoff for almost a week now. Not sure where he went. His room's paid up to the end of the month. I guess he expected he'd be here a while.
I'd like the key to Kristoff's room.
Of course. Here you go. It's the last room at the end of the hall. If he comes back and gets upset, however, it's on your head.
I'm his commander, I'm not too concerned about that.
Something I can do for you, friend?
Did you ever speak to Kristoff?
Not much. He chatted up Sorsha a bit when she brought him his dinner. Maybe talk to her.
Sorcha.
Right.
Okay.
Best watch yourself out there.
Chatting up one of the ladies of the tavern, was he? Unsurprising, really. He is Sorcha.
Looking to wet your whistle, stranger.
I understand you spoke to Kristoff.
We chatted a bit. He was a friendly sort for a Grey Warden. Spent most of his nights here drinking. Wasn't ever loud or too forward. Haven't seen him for maybe a week now.
Grey Wardens aren't typically kind in your experience. Did he ever talk about what he was doing?
Said he was tracking some Darkspawn, one particular group that's been raiding outside the city. He told me they were acting strange, those Darkspawn. Acting obvious, like they wanted to be caught or something. I expect he caught them. Probably why he hasn't been back, right?
Where did he go? Do you know?
No, he took a lot of notes while he drank. Always writing things down. Maybe there's something in his room.
Just how friendly were you two?
We chatted, like I said. He's married, as I recall.
Thanks for the answers.
My pleasure. Send him my best when you see him.
Well, this one's much better than the other warden's wife, who was cheating in here. Nita, I believe her name was. We caught her with her partner. Say that in air quotes. What do we have in here? Kristoff's mementos and a short bow.
On it.
Kristoff's journal. A letter from Aura. Private letter from Aura to Kristoff. Spirit cord and heavy chainmail. Now we have a map of Ferelden.
As you wish.
This map of the Arling shows several locations, each crossed out, except for a place called the Black Marsh. So I imagine the Black Marsh is where he was sent off to. If we open up the quest log, we have the main plot. Shadows of the Black Marsh. A map in Kristoff's room at the inn suggests he went to the Black Marsh, pursuing evidence of a Darkspawn activity. Find Kristoff and determine what the Darkspawn are doing inside the Black Marsh. We will, of course, do that. Now, before we do go ahead and swing all the way down to the Black Marsh, I am interested, of course, in going back to Vigil's Keep and seeing if we can talk to any of our companions. So I will see you guys back in the throne room. Alrighty, here we are back at the Vigil, and one thing you will notice if you swing the camera around is she is back up and running now. She is fully repaired. The Vigil is standing very strong with big granite walls. Let's talk to Baldric here.
I pity the siege crew that tries to breach our walls.
Indeed, and she is a beautiful sight, all nice and repaired. Nobody is, as he said, nobody's sieging us. Of course, these chests have respawned once again, so we'll go ahead and loot these quickly. I don't think there'll be much here to do, but still, I want the XP. We want to check it out, right?
This should be easy enough.
I'm not sure what the actual max level is for this place, and we are 32. A couple thousand XP off, getting 33. 6,000 or 5,000 to be exact. Not sure, maybe it's 35, 33. I wouldn't imagine we'll be getting 35
As you wish.
by the time we're done with this, but who knows? Man, she looks beautiful. I am very confident in this place. Not only that, but we also have silver eye armor for our men whenever we have to deploy them, so it's going to be looking very, very good at this point.
You're back. You need anything?
Nothing with Heren. Of course, Dworkin, we already gave him too much lyrium sand. We have nothing for him, even though we picked up more. They give you an abundance.
Have I ever told you?
Sergeant Mableys is fine.
tattoos on women?
We will check the private real quick. Do you have any messages for me?
Give me a moment.
He does not. Right, let's head back into the throne room.
I owe you an apology.
Any specific reason in mind?
When I returned from the Free Marches, I was certain my family was destroyed for being on the wrong side of the war. But my father did it to himself. No conspiracies, just one stupid, selfish man. I should have known better.
How could you have known?
I should have dug deeper before I acted. I was an idiot, and like a child I blamed you and the Wardens. And here you've even proven to be a friend of sorts. Or am I reading that wrong too?
No, I actually respect the hell out of Nathaniel. I'd like to be friends.
Good. You know, when you conscripted me, I would not have thought I'd end up liking it. Anyway, let's be on our way. I don't want to take up more of your time.
I think Nathaniel is a good man, and I genuinely believe he will redeem the Howe family name over time. He's a good man. And as I said, he's not his father, and he shouldn't blame himself for that. Howe was a piece of crap, but he's not. And he can go a long way fixing all this, and I'm sure he will.
I don't think we should dally here.
I would be inclined to agree.
May I point out that you're all right?
Go ahead.
You're all right. Really, when the Templars came for me, you could have decided I wasn't worth the trouble. But I apparently am worth the trouble. Considering I'm usually a lot of trouble, I should be grateful.
I'm glad to have you around.
I'm glad to be around. When you recruited me, I thought I was jumping from the frying pan into the fire. But being a warden is almost tolerable. It's a pleasant stroll through the park with Darkspawn.
So glad I could make it happen for you.
You're a giver. I'm very grateful. I thought it was worth mentioning. Thank you, Commander, for everything.
And don't blow too much smoke, Anders.
No rest for the wicked,
Alright, now we will make the rounds.
When do we get going?
She has nothing.
Darkspawn don't kill themselves.
Selena has nothing. Ogren, can we talk about your family yet?
Need something pummeled? Just say the word. So, what about it, huh? Huh?
What about what, Ogren?
I was thinking about my plan for a grand fleet of Mabari chariots. Talked to your dog about it once. Didn't seem impressed. Thing is, the Grey Wardens could use a snazzier image. Everyone thinks we're a grim stick-in-the-muds. Oh, and the ladies love them chariots. Oh, yes.
Now, Grey Warden chariots pulled by Mabari actually sounds quite interesting. I would actually gladly make that happen.
You need anything?
So it looks like we're going to struggle getting this final dialogue from Ogren. We haven't given him all the gifts that we could have possibly given. I do know that there is one more that we can get for him somewhere, which would of course be the thing about the horses. I did look that up after I used that one. The one that we gave Ogren was actually meant for Sigrun. She is the one that wants the toy chariot. There's a toy horse somewhere that we give to Ogren. So keeping that in mind as we progress forward. Now, salvaged goods are actually worth 28 sovereigns, 2 sovereigns apiece. A huge amount of money. We're up to 1,300 now. We're never really going to be struggling to buy things. The crazy part of that is I haven't even done the money-making method inside this expansion. I've just been moseying on, selling things that we get, killing certain bosses, and it's just been dropping us a shitload of sovereigns, so that's pretty cool. We're at 1,300 exactly now, so I'll definitely be stopping at that. Right. That is going to be the end of this episode, because I want to make the Black Marsh its own little piece of the lore. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, as always, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age Awakening. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.